Friday he'll be 87. And I had time to listen to him to tell his story about how when he was in service and how those what you call the holes and those bunker things with the snakes and with the dead soldiers and the prejudice. That's the first time I ever heard him talk about it.
Well,
Because he never
prejudice with the people that you're fighting with, or
see, they back then they made it different. They had the blacks, and see his dad and my brother could tell you they had the blacks here and the whites here. They didn't mix them.
so they didn't fight together.
No, they didn't fight until later on together when wasn't it Eisenhower or Patton, one of them said, "Send me some black, he'll win the war."
Said what?
Yeah.
Well, you know, really in World
War II.
At the beginning of World War II.
Hold on, I have to intervene because I'm a Persian rifle, but that was General John Joseph Pershing.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. That said, that made that remark.
Yeah.
You send me a black soldier, he'll win a war for you.
Yeah. Well, I know Eisenhower, Patton one had something in there, but anyway, they did, and has suffered humiliation. But you find that the black man always stood with the white boy. When it come down to fighting for the country, most other folk don't say yeah, they turn. But that's who they count on us.
That's
You know,
what I used to see
they
my
count on
brother
us, you know. All the other Arabs, they
Change.
come in and they look at this guy that shot up 14.
So where do you think that came from? Why do you think they depend on black people?
Because they know we gonna stand. We have the same value that they have,
Okay.
and we believe you know, majority of us believe the same way they believe, and so they know when time come to a share, the black man gonna stand with them.
Right.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
Not gonna back
desert.
down, not gonna cower down.
See, because we have spilled our blood from slavery. In other words, we have invested into this country, from our foreparents.
Mm-hmm.
We invested. We have a vested life, a vested estate in America. Well, other folks just come here. We've been here through the
We fought for a reason to be here.
yeah, humiliation. And it puzzled them because, you know, they look back and they say, well, we've had the foot on our head, neck for 300 years or 400 years, and we still strive, we still get up, we still move. And, but that's one thing. Just like we found out that a lot of times you go into a place and you see how a lot of them look at you. And I told my cousin right here, well, I said, put your cap on. Let them know you're not a bird. You know, you donned the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
You supported this country. And when you do that, you get a different look.
You do. You are absolutely correct about that.
Yeah, you get a
Oh, you
different
noticed
look.
that yourself,
You are
huh?
absolutely correct
And
about
they
that.
respect you. They come up, and it blew my Uncle Fletcher's mind when the man and the wife came up and said, "Thank you for your service to this country," and it make you feel good. You know, somebody see. Other than that, they see you walking around, they just think you're a typical black man.
And a lot of people don't value that, especially with knowing. A lot of people feel like, well, you know, I didn't have to go over there. You know, I didn't have to go over there, so it's okay. But now realizing, if you're not going over there and nobody else is willing to go over there, then who's going to be the one to stand up and say, this is what we need to do, this needs to stop, and this is what needs to happen? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people take that for granted,
Right.
and they don't value. I just don't feel like I don't say anybody, but especially our generation, you know, they don't really think about that. They don't really think, hey, how blessed are you to go to an HBCU as nice as Prairie View? once upon a time we wouldn't have been able to get the opportunity, but now we do.
Right.
And you can't even say thank you to the people that made it happen. Or not even think twice about saying, hey, you know, maybe I should try to figure out who I can talk to or who I can say, at least I appreciate you for doing what you did, for giving me this opportunity.
Right.
Because I value my education.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
There have been a lot of sacrifices militarily, and then also there have been a lot of black families that pay their taxes and U.S. law-abiding citizens, family, and their faith in their religion, whether it's Catholic, Methodist, which our family came from, Baptist or whatever, you know. So that's part of the foundation of this country, you see. And when you start talking to military people, you're looking at the ones that made it.
The ones that made it.
You know, I think about, you know, to have so many nephews that fought in Vietnam War, plus went into service. Out of this family, here, let me count them up.
Where you are? Robert, Maurice, Scott, Curtis, Edward,
Robert,
O'Hara.
O'Hara,
Up under
the
your
Williams.
father's umbrella.
Not,
Out of the 14 families, you have what, 8?
it was
And
8, I think it's 8. And Brother Ariel, my brother. So it's 9. They had an uncle, and all the rest of it is grandchildren and great-grandchildren that served in the service.
Because
9 out of your family?
Yes, that went in the service.
now we talking about the meatly, but when we get the tentacles, the branches, we have more than that.
yeah.
We have one cousin that served with the first cousin in First Cav Division in Vietnam, and he didn't know they was kinfolk.
Oh, I say,
So until when my mother passed,
yeah.
and Maurice said, "Look at it, let me go over here and I'm see you. Say hello to this guy. We say he was in my unit." He got over there, and when he saw it, found out they was cousins. So actually the Williams clan people have served our country. My grandfather, which is her mother, daddy, was the first black to vote in the Democratic ticket in Victoria County.
Who's that? Your dad?
Yes,
Right.
Your dad was the
Placido, Texas.
And
First black to
vote in
Placido.
the Democratic Party. He was the first one.
And my father and mother and all my oldest sisters and brother moved out here in 1940. First they came and they was selling this property to 14 black families. And my father was already a farmer in Victoria County. This is before I was born. I was the only one born here at Prairie View Hospital that they tore down. But
Why did they tear the hospital down?
It seems like they don't want anything history
history, to me,
of the black institution. Now you go up to A&M, you see all the old buildings are still
Still
remaining.
Mm-hmm.
They tore down our little high school that we went to, where they put the girls' gym.
gym on the campus.
Used to be the
Girls'
high
gym.
school. Yeah.
It was called the Prairie View Training School. That's where we went to school. And then they built Jones School up here on the hill, and that was high school and an elementary.
School.
They put the high school and the elementary school together?
Yeah.
Elementary was across the street.
Cross Street, the high school.
Oh, the
High
high school's on
was
the
on
street?
one side.
Okay.
And my parents moved out here with all his equipment and everything, and farm, and my mother and father. And then he dealt with the FHA. He farmed corn, peanuts, watermelon,
Cotton.
and they had truck patch here my parents raised all the vegetables was sold to the university, and my father moved, and we had all his milk cows. My sisters and brother then had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to milk those cows and to get that milk ready for the next morning for the milkman to come down in a little wagon with a bell every morning or either every other morning and pick up the milk.
So they wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and do this every day.
You know.
Mm-hmm. That's
So we
what my dad. And then my dad was a minister.
Did they get paid for that?
No, I forgot.
So the milkman would just come and just get the milk and go?
And
They made it where we wasn't aware.
we got because we had our own milk. My father, we raised everything. We had everything that we needed, and that milk was sold. And they sold vegetables and stuff to Prairie View University.
And also, and was an invocation at graduation. My grandfather used to be on a program at the university.
For the college, graduation, and high school. He's the one that did it. Dealt with, they had the FHA, and then they had Miss Hill and Mr. Poole, county agent that came out and tested everything. My father raised baby chicks. We raised baby chicks. We had all those 3 chicken pens out there, and all those little chicks that you had to test those chickens, and we had to gather up all those eggs. That was every day.
So where was the farm located?
Here.
Right here.
My father bought 150 acres of land.
All this going all the way back
to the freeway.
To the freeway.
Where you see Jane Muse Parkway, that's my daddy's property. That's Jane Muse didn't live here.
This splits Robert L. Williams and Marie Agnes Williams estate. That's what
This is what it is.
But since Mr. Muse was the first black commissioner of Waller County since Reconstruction.
Who?
Jane Muse, J.R. Muse.
Oh, okay.
The late J.R. Muse. So they cut this road through and named it after him.
And my baby brother Elijah Williams was the first black deputy sheriff of Waller County.
Oh, no.
The first black. Elijah Williams that he met out there today, that was his father. He was the first black deputy sheriff. And then Waller County was a very prejudiced county.
What's your brother's name?
Elijah Frederick Williams.
Yeah.
He worked for the Prairie View Department. He worked for the Prairie View Fire Department and
the security. Yeah. At the university.
Did y'all ever work at the university?
Yes, I worked at the university. I worked at Prairie View, right, 20 some years. Yeah, 20, I've forgotten that, 20, 22, 20 some years. I worked at the Owens Franklin Health Center.
Okay.
And I also, I left out something. I was one of the first deputies for the city of Prairie View.
Really?
Yeah.
And plus, he was the
close work director
of Prairie View for
city of Prairie View.
how many years?
Oh, and I had a total of, let's see, 30 years at least, 25 years. I ran the whole department.
Interesting. So what happened?
Well, we are, my uncle, which is our brother, he still farm and raise cattle.
Like cattle and
Yeah,
stuff,
all the land that beyond the houses. And cousins have horses. But,
Horses out here.
Yeah.
But the production of the crops and stuff, all of that.
They still farm.
Oh, okay, so it's still happening. Okay.
What my daddy did, after my mother passed, my father divided all his property that he had. The first black man to do this in Waller County, which the white people did not like because he divided all his property up and gave each one of his children a lot and acreage
While he was living, so
while he was living.
So
They told him to sell his property, and he told them he wasn't. And so he.
So why were they trying to get him to sell his property? Why wouldn't they allow him to do what he wanted to do with his property? I don't.
Well, see, you know, a lot of times they want
Prejudice.
they want inherited taxes. You know, the taxes. You know, and actually, you know, they realize if you own property, you own a piece of the pie, a piece of the rock, and
They recognize when
you recognize
you
when you
recognize
own property and stuff.
And my father named this street here is Williams Street and Poole Street. Named this Poole Street right back here because he was the first grandchild to have a house here in the Poole Street. And that Williams Street go all the way to the freeway. Father talked to 4 or 5 the other black families to try to get them to do the same thing. Because right now, it's quite a few families that having problems.
What kind of problems?
The family problem, getting property divided up. Like the Scotts, the Walkers, the Santee. Some of us having problems with their property, whatever. But anyway, he tried to get them to do the same thing.
Anyway, he does the right thing. And also, my grandfather, he broke all the horses for the cavalry, the army.
Really?
And the King Ranch in Kingville, Texas. That's before he moved here.
Some of these prejudice
Well, see,
experiences, maybe, because I'm interested in, like, I can't really imagine. I can't imagine myself.
Well, see, what you grew up. See, we grew up in an area that we got a chance to see the old and the change.
Right.
Okay, we used to have, if I don't care if you just got married, if you had a tuxedo on, we all had to go in the back of the cafe to eat. We couldn't go into the front door.
And then
And that was okay. I mean, were y'all okay with that? Was it the norm? Was that the norm then?
That was a norm. You know, that's
So
what.
it was
that's
already
what,
understood, like, okay,
you know, we couldn't
But
go in.
the thing of it, when we was growing up, we had to put up with the presidents at the university with our own black people, our own black teachers. They made a difference. They called us the rural children out here.
Anyway,
And see, the teachers, their husband and wives, a lot of them, they was teaching at the university. And they made a difference with us with Prairie View Training School.
anyway,
Yes, we had a lot that we had to put up with our own blacks and white, and we still putting up with a lot of prejudice in Prairie View City right today, with the mayor and some of the others. We still fighting.
Well, anyway, we.
All the one up there on 1098 started selling their property to people. After Vista came from the Anderson side of the family. Where you see the Freeze King, the chicken place, all that land was the Clarks. And where you see Onco, that was Hilliard Muse. And those houses there, that's the property they own.
Interesting.
Yes.
So I thought they didn't want
The
y'all to
rich
sell it at
white
all.
man, that's what they stipulated. He wanted to be so, but you could sell it to your family or sell it to someone that's black, but no whites.
What she's talking about, who was that set that up? The Minkies and
The
Minkies.
Minkies.
The Minkies family set that up with the 14 families. We need to go back and search that again, you know.
Yeah, but this is what they said from the time.
Yeah.
So
And see, the 14 black families from different towns. My parents is from Victoria County. You have the Scotts is from
And Giddens.
Giddings. The Robinson was from that's Seguin, I think it is. And you had the Muse, the Clarks, Walkers, Hilliard Muse. They all was from Patterson, Texas. That's from there where they had a plantation there and there. Well, see, they live up here. I gave him the name. That's the Walkers. And you probably won't be talking to, I mentioned to George Walker that lived in that brick house. And he's a veteran too.
okay.
And A. Ruth Walker, her son she lived in the third house from George Walker. And her sons, she had
Her
5.
Her sons.
Yeah. And that she had 2 was a prisoner of war.
Wow. So why do you think?
Dog, which one?
I know David.
David and Bruce.
I know David.
I know Reginald, I think.
David, I know David.
That hostage with the hostage over there.
Yeah.
David.
Mhm.
So why do you think they didn't want him to sell the land to any whites?
I guess.
Well, this is what this was.
I mean,
told up.
y'all. I mean,
It was
everything's
supposed.
good.
It was given to 150 acres was given to 14 black people.
He wanted
Families. That's what it was originally for. And so we have to find their deal at the courthouse. Now everybody that deceased that know about it, they said it wasn't supposed to be sold. So
So that 150 acres was not supposed to be sold in the first place.
it wasn't supposed to be sold in the first place. So it's supposed to be maintained between the 14 families.
So who decided they were gonna? Who pulled the string to say we're gonna give them this land?
Mika is
the rich white man is the one that set
Family.
it up.
Okay.
And they brought this property through FHA, Farm and Home Administrator. That's what it was set up for each family to buy their property from.
I would imagine it was college at the time.
Yeah, it's something.
As well as wide shop community,
Yeah.
you know, and to help black people kind of
Well, see,
support themselves.
yeah, the Wild Chapel community has always been here, and that family out there, the Whites, he was the first black legislator in Texas, the state of Texas.
It was one point, you know, I was just telling Wayne.
Yeah, that's who our church and things, that's why. Now, my aunt,
It's cemetery.
my aunt parents, the first was Owen up here,
Up the street here.
up the street.
Was the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
black
Yeah.
family that was in here.
Yeah.
And you
They
know,
own a section of land, 600 acres, 650 acres, 640 acres. Yeah, a section.
But they have a lot of family that was buried in
Yeah,
that
out there,
cemetery.
yeah,
What you
cemetery.
talking about over there? Yeah.
The owners?
Yeah, the owner.
Uh-huh. And I think some of them was veterans. And I have,
Well, Joe Nason was a veteran, Ollie Reed was a veteran,
mhm.
Ray Ollie Reed, Maurice Owens was a veteran, he's a Marine.
He's-
Captain Black.
He's still living. He lives up there. I told him about Maurice Owens.
Yeah, Maurice Owens.
He's still living.
He's still living.
Get that name?
Maurice?
And I have a niece and a nephew that's buried out there in that slave cemetery. My oldest brother, Warren Williams, have 2 children that was buried there. He married to one of the Owens' daughter. He married into the Owens family.
Your nephew?
My brother, my oldest
Your
brother,
oldest
married
brother.
into the Owens family.
So y'all connected.
Mhm.
Oldest brother.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I mean,
And he had 11 children. And they still, his home is right here. He's deceased.
And my Uncle Ariel married into the Walker family.
He married into Walker
and
family.
then,
Yeah.
okay.
Ain't Early married to Uncle Otis, but she was
Ain't
a
who?
World War One veteran.
My sister, the
What's her
oldest sister, she's 92 years old. She's still living.
What's her name?
Orly Williams. And she could tell you all the history, how everything was
I have a
happening.
great
She's still
aunt.
living.
Her name is Orly Kirby.
Kirby? She's a Kirby?
Related to the Kirby's here.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You need to
But
find out.
she's 92 years old, and her husband was a World War One veteran.
Yeah, Uncle Otis was World War One veteran.
He didn't take any stuff off the white folks. I'll put it that way. You ain't got to put that in.
All black folks, nobody.
Yeah, black folks know what. He carried a truck full of guns.
Who is this?
My uncle.
Albie Williams.
Okay.
He was when my sister married a Williams, and
Uh,
they lived in Waller.
and where you from?
I'm from Sacramento, California.
Yeah.
Yes. But I have people, well, when we came down here, because I have family, a lot of my family, I just found out maybe like 2 years ago, also went to Prairie View. And Thomas, I think there's a street called Thomas. I don't know. But
Thompson.
No, not Thompson. Thomas. But I'm gonna look on that Kirby, cause I seen Kirby when I was reading up. I seen the name Kirby, so I was like, I should
Well,
check
see,
that.
the Kirby's out on
I have people, but they're from Palestine, Corsicana, Texas, out in that area. So
The Kirby, Paul Kirby, they had that Kirby plant. Was that a Kirby plantation?
It's Kirby Plantation.
Everything
where's that?
Is that
Back out here, back of Prairie View.
back in Prairie View?
And you know, you got
What is it now?
Well, it's all been developed. People out to see, because you had the Kirbys, and you had the Alta Vista, and you had the Lindo Plantation.
Leon Plantation.
Yeah.
See, Leon Plantation is part of, right from our church in Wash Chapel.
Yeah.
That was Lindo Plantation. It's
Oh.
still there.
It's still there.
Yeah.
You could go out there.
You know,
Okay.
But I'm thinking, I'm not sure now. I'm thinking everything fell off the Kirby plantation. I saw
Yeah, they stopped you had the Kirby Plantation.
Well, me and him all the way back in the road.
See, there's Kirby, those are blacks, but the people, it's mixed. Just like we are.
They worked y'all way back then, your people.
They what?
They worked your people.
They worked them? I know they did. My great grandfather was white. My grandmother's black and white. Her father was white. They had plantations and things. Never really got into that. And I wish I would have got to talk to him before he passed, because I know. I've seen pictures, old pictures, and I know I can get some information, but that'll probably be something I have to get from my grandmother.
Yeah. I tell you what you do it before they move off the scene. Because we've been doing research on our family. And when we gone back to 76.
We're going back almost 150 years.
150 years.
Really?
Yeah. So we know where our great grandfather and mother.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I know if I read up on it, I'm gonna see something that I don't like, for the simple fact that my great grandfather was white. So
See, my great grandfather was white. They called him on my daddy's side mulatto. That's
What is
what
that?
they call mulatto. He's mixed, and that's what they call the whites. And my mother's father came in on the slave ship from Virginia. All of them came in from Virginia, North Carolina, all around to
they call
Mississippi.
it white mulatto or the mix.
Yes.
Where did they come from?
That's what they have on this paper thing. He's a mulatto.
Well, when the white man and the black woman,
The slaves.
their slaves, we mingled with them, and they came up with the mixed children.
That's what they
So
call
they
it.
call them the black. They gave them that name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but
And
anyway, we went all the way back, and we traced their history all the way into the state of Texas. Yeah. on my grandmother's grandfather was Abraham Williams. Daniel Bullard, Amy Bullard on my grandmother, great-great-grandmother's side.
Whoa.
And the Williams, that's what
But
I
anyway, when they gave names, most names didn't fall too far from the original parent. Go like on my daddy's side, my great-great-grandmother was a cook for the master. She was a slave.
And my great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather, Bullock, up there in Mission Valley, see, they own thousands of acres of land. And my daddy's daddy, I don't know, right now, we don't know how much land he owned. He owned a lot. He was the richest black man in Victoria County.
Wait, yeah. Y'all give me there's some information y'all talking about my head, man. Y'all
But
confusing.
anyway,
But he
that's
was.
our grandparent, great-great-grandparent.
We have look here, we have done some research, some very extensive research, and we have found out some positive things about our family. And we have documentation to back a lot of the stuff that we talk about up. So when we start talking about our family, if we tell you something, we can back it up. It's in black. It's recorded.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I made a statement about paying taxes and stuff. Like my Robert and I, great-great-grandfather, bought this property back in the mid-1800s, but he set up the church, the Methodist Episcopal Church, in 1874, and then the Colored Community Graveyard in 1870. So we have that, and it's fascinating.
Who set up this church?
They bought
Who set up the church?
my great-great-great-grandfather.
Great.
Daniel Bullard.
And then my grandfather built the Methodist Church in Placido. He built it. He owned this property. And then he built other churches.
Well, there's a lot of recorded history, and once you start researching history, your own family history, to me, it's fascinating.
I know it is. That's
It
how
is.
I'm listening to y'all. And I'm like, man, I wonder where I can find out about my family.
Well, I tell you what, my mother, which is her sister, she taught me while I was inside the womb. After I came out, she taught me all the way until she died. And she was a people's person. And she stayed in contact with all her family members all over the United States. And I used to ask also my mom, who are you talking to? Oh, that's your kinfolk. Which side?
Yeah.
You know? She understood, but sometimes it was confusing to me. But now, since we've been doing some research and names and stuff, now we can dot the I's and cross the T's with who we are.
Yeah.
And that's how we've been able to go all the way back to, so far, around, I think you said, 1850. Well, it's not the 1850s, we just leave right there.
That's still
Yes,
a
indeed.
long 18.
But my point is this. There is recorded history. You just have to know where and how to find it. And they keep this stuff, well, there's some history like up there in libraries and stuff, but in the courthouse, the courthouse is a good place to find information, even about you and your family.
Excuse me, did you go to the library to see? They filmed everything here in the house here, the pictures and everything of my parents. I got stuff my mother and all her cannery, where she used to can all the put up all the preserves. I got all that equipment stuff. A lot of equipment stuff is in there. My daddy and his daddy, them, they used to make, in Victoria, they had all the equipment stuff. They made the syrup, River King syrup. And we got jugs here. I got jugs here that to put the syrup in. Syrup,
I was like, I mean, when I came up and I saw the house, I was like, look at the house. What? Went around the back.
This house was built in 1939, and my parents moved here in 1940. Yes, this is the old. This is the homestead. This is the home place where I grew up.
You said 39?
Well, like I said, we have a whole lot of history, but if you're going to check it out and see if you connect with us. Because Julius Williams was up in San Antonio.
Whoa, that's my grandfather. That's my great grandfather.
Oh my
Julius Cecil?
God!
Huh?
Julius Cecil Williams.
Yeah.
That's my great grandfather. I'm so serious. I'm about to. Man.
You know it in Franklin's up there. Now don't tell me you related to the Franklins.
I
mean my brother, wife. Well, anyway,
That's Marine Corps language.
but anyway, she was sitting she came home for Christmas, and my wife and I was there, and so she had ways just like my Aunt Helen. She carried on a whole lot of foolishness, which is her sister, just like my Aunt Helen. So finally, I said, I almost called her name, but she said, I said, what is your maiden name? She said, I'm a Williams. My maiden name is Williams.
She from San Antonio?
Yeah, she's from San Antonio. And I said, should you act just like my Aunt Helen?
It's a small world once you start once you really start talking to people. It's not like you said Sacramento. You mentioned Kirby. There's a link. You know, I almost told her.
Well, because my dad lives in Sacramento. That's why I'm from Sacramento.
Yeah.
My father's side of the family is from Sacramento. My mother's side they're in Texas. Kirby, Thomas, Yelder, that's not here, but definitely just Kirby and Thomas.
Well, the Kirby's, like I said, out on Lakeview.
A lot of them was they mixed half white.
Yeah, I knew the whole family, and who can I recall?
We found out there were 50, so they had a dedication up there. Wise Chapel, George White, the church that they're going to. He was one of them, and I was able to go up there with one of the White offsprings and enjoy the dedication, and it was really fascinating. I think I have some brochures and stuff. I had pictures in my camera, but it was fascinating to, and then they dedicated this statue in the state capitol where Barbara Jordan is buried. You know? And matter of fact, Barbara Jordan.
Be careful on that road, man.
Her grandfather was one of the first black legislators in the state of Texas. Also, Frank will know about that. Frank Jacko, he was up there in. We have a lot of input in this country that's coming to light, so to speak. A lot of stuff have been uncovered. We have, I tell them all the time, and I'll tell you, or anybody else, 2/3 of this country I feel is mine. See, and you can see it in my eyes. Two-thirds. That's within my heart and my spirit. And I know he feels the same way as well as this young man here too. So we have a lot of input into this country, and a lot of people have paved the way for you young people. That's the future. You see, what are you gonna do? You see what I'm talking about? And if you take initiative and research and talk to the people, you'll find that it's fascinating and it's healthy, especially Prairie View area. This is key because Prairie View is what? Might as well say 50 miles from Houston, 50 miles from A&M system, 100 miles from Austin. Perfect location. And see, when we grew up, it was predominantly black. So I integrated.
Even down in the A&M area?
Yeah, what?
It was all black.
Yeah,
See, the only thing what A&M system had, they had what they call a few tokens that they called integration. They spotlighted them, put the light on those. Well, see, white people wouldn't come to this university and work until Prairie View A&M University became part of the permanent university fund. When we became part of the university fund, that we was receiving all monies from the state of Texas, then the white people came. And
After the money started showing up.
after money, then their children started to come in here, going enrolled in school. They was getting the grants because they were the minority. It was considered a minority, and so all money, federal dollars that was coming down the pipe, they had the first
Access to it.
access to it. But that's when they started bringing in white people started coming in, taking positions, and then they started bringing in a lot of the foreigners, which y'all probably can't all understand because of the broken English that they are speaking.
And they had the first white young man that went to Prairie View from Hempstead, named Glenn Taylor. His daddy was a lawyer, which he was my father's lawyer.
Man, what's the Prairie View?
Yes,
Glenn
he's
is
the
very-
first one broke the ice at Prairie View.
Glenn is the attorney he was a county attorney.
County
His
attorney.
father, his dad was your dad's lawyer?
And then he came to Prairie View.
His son came to graduate.
Is that how that happened?
He said he wanted to come to Prairie View. He didn't want to go nowhere else. He's white.
But he got killed in a car wreck, 3 years ago?
No, about 5, 6 years.
Yeah, 9. But anyway, he was the county attorney, and he graduated from Prairie View, and he became a lawyer, attorney.
I think he went to Texas Southern Law School after he left
Yeah.
Prairie View, I believe.
I'm still I want to about the cemetery out there.
Yeah.
And you say you all go out there to the cemetery and you do some cleanup, and you just look at the headstones or what? Because I met some students that they were doing that a few years back, and I didn't know.
Right.
And so we want to try to support them and go out there sometime
And
and participate ourselves. See, when we were growing up,
And get you all to talk to him?
we
Because
used to go out there when we were going out there small growing up. I mean, you could read the headstones.
It wasn't broke.
They're broken in half
Well, see, the thing about it,
with trash.
Water.
around.
it's a white man that owned the
Well,
land that was just...
Yeah, I might tell you about that one day.
The white man had owned
Hold
that
on, we
property
talk. When we
to
talk about the
flood.
trash dump,
Play.
yeah, let's
Wait.
go.
Hell that it's been sitting there. Cause when I picked it up, it's all types of whatever crawling up. You know, it's practically embedded into the dirt where it's been broken, and it seems like it's just been sitting there, growing moldy into the earth.
But see, my brother Fletcher Reverend Williams, that he's supposed to talk to, they sent him out there with a bulldozer. He say on backs, it's back there. He say other slave and other graves. The tall.
There are. I was walking through, and you can see through all the shrubbery and the trees and things. You know, there's a lot of going on. You can see through there. I'm walking through, stepping over. You know,
Graves.
trying to figure out. You know, I don't know who I'm stepping on.
You know, what I say, I think God that young people
You always
taking
doing this.
initiative doing it because it used to be clean.
That's what I was just telling you.
Yeah, we used to be clean. Wasn't no serious.
It was a large cemetery, went all the way back.
Yeah.
Large, and then the white man started taking in the land, taking in the land, and things. And see, I could get in touch with my oldest brother, children, because they have a sister and brother there, and I could talk to them and his son, and maybe they could get them to go out there with you all, and they
have aunties and
they have
uncles.
aunts, uncles, they got grandparents that's buried out
Like
there.
all that whole entire area just needs to be completely
Right,
wiped out. The whole it needs to be completely wiped out. So we can.
Cemetery. They have the
But
Owens up there.
You know what's? I'm trying to understand something because I was there at the dedication that day.
They just did some dedication. Frank Jackson didn't do the whole thing.
Well, but now I know what General Beckton said, and see that responsibility was passed down to Mac Washington to maintain that, and I know what that lady said that was over the historical coming out of A&M. She said, "Well, we will find
Every grave. Fletcher said they supposed to find it because when he went in there with that bulletin, it was too wet, and he told him no, he couldn't go back because that ground was soft. I remember them saying they told him that to go in there.
A lot of people do a photo op.
Mm-hmm.
You see Sheila Jackson Lee from Houston. Photo op. As long as a camera and a mic is in her face, she's somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But you get that out. I asked her. One time I was having a problem with the VA and I was asking for her assistant. And they kept asking me, did I know who my congressman is? I told them, yes, I know Ron Paul was out of this district from here to Victoria. I said, I know my congressman. My next question with her then was, are you a congressman from the state of Texas? I said, I don't care what district you're in. You're supposed to represent Texans. I don't care if they're in the Houston district or out west. You're supposed to represent Texas.
Right.
But I didn't get anything out of her. But so I told her, I said, well, Senator Hudson. She just told me to write a paragraph. She said, you mean Senator Hudson gonna help you? I said, yeah, Senator Hudson gonna help me. She not telling me. I say she's from Texas too, and I'm not even in the area that she represents.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. See, a lot of people have a fool eye. They get the praise and thing. After that, it's gone. So now, you young people gonna like to find the rest of them and make us do something, you know, to encourage to get out there and clean that cemetery up.
I am happy about this.
It's a historical cemetery. Don't need to have the mark out there, and the graves you can't even see the grave.
And first, you need to find out how much land actually was the cemetery. Because I haven't really heard.
It go all the way back.
All the way back.
Now from the time I've been working on it, I was told the cemetery is bordered by the creek. There's a creek that runs
Yeah.
through there, and I hear on this side of the creek is where the cemetery is supposed to be. Now that's the information that I've gathered.
Well, when you.
But I know during my time with a small run coming up, you see where that fence is that come all the way down to that road? That fence wasn't there. It was over further. I remember that fence was over further. Like
So
I
you
said, that white man that took their land, see, they closed, and that other, they had it, to me, it took in property that wasn't supposed to be taken in. And see, that's what we
And
have
that's
found. Because
well,
we
they
have,
need
in
to do
Victoria, we have a slave grave down there where I have people buried. And this white man owned that property there. And he just put his fence, and fence of cows all around. He used to run all over the grave. And his slaves and his soldiers buried out there. And so he decided to go and put a little fence just around where the head troops on. But if you have, I understand they got one of these machines that they could go out there and could find those graves.
But anyway, we thank y'all for showing the interest in this.
Ooh,
And
Lord,
try to
yeah.
get it clean.
I kind of think that the 290, Highway 290, new 290, correct me if I'm wrong, before 290 came through here, they had to find the Confederate cemetery, I
You
think,
got that Confederate grave out there
Yes,
at
Confederate
the
cemetery.
end of the plantation.
somewhere back on.
Before they built 290,
Yeah.
they had to find it
Yep.
and do what? What they find it to
No.
do with it?
They,
Well, they found the
they
grave,
want to
the cemetery.
disrupt. What I'm saying is
It's
they
against
didn't
the
want
law to disrupt the
They
grave.
didn't
So,
want theirs.
so before they built 290, they made sure
wasn't
they
on-
went and found that to make sure that
It
wasn't.
wasn't in the thing, but
I got you.
I think
Okay.
that's one of the things that happened, and you know, so we want to respect. We need to respect our own also. And one thing
That's all it
that's
is.
good about what we're doing is within our family.
That's my
Our family cemetery is intact, and our great grandmother, if you go out there and saw her headstone, I mean, you would think that she was just buried.
Your great grandmother?
My great grandma who died in 1925. If you saw, I have a picture. If you saw her cemetery, I mean, it's
My grandfather gave the
it's amazing.
cemetery.
And they're old.
Where is that?
This is in Victoria.
At Mission Valley, where his great grandfather's from.
well, anyway, they got it. They have them down in the cemetery. They have our grandmother. It's just like it. They just put her in the ground.
Yeah. But you know, we got in contact with the guy that was over the cemeteries. We need to get in contact with the man that Frank Jackson should know about the guy who's old, someone that's over the cemeteries in Waller County. Yeah.
He might and he might not.
Mr. Hoover was over the cemeteries in Victoria County, and he had
Very
the
helpful.
thing to plot out all the cemeteries.
So
You
there's
got
no
slaves.
so there's no management over this cemetery.
No, for
Just say there's nobody. There's no.
Wasn't no-
But the one across the street,
yeah, they
That's why I got family buried out there.
a one across from the slave cemetery.
right,
Mhm.
right,
But there's nobody.
maintaining.
The slave.
Yeah,
The
they
university
used to maintain it.
The university
They used to
do it.
maintain
Okay.
the cemetery, but then they stopped.
But nobody in the city.
No,
I don't know
was-
who. Now my
no.
brother Reverend Weedman could tell you who's supposed to be.
no, you talking about the university? You asking someone if anybody in the city.
Yeah. Nobody in the city was trying to
Or
maintain
nobody
the
in the
slave
city
cemetery.
maintaining anything.
Mm-mm. My brother is one that used to maintain the cemetery, and got guys out there to cut and everything at the Prairie View Cemetery.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Okay. There's so much history buried here.
And we should have a committee of people that maintain that's over the cemeteries.
And I don't understand how the city itself can decide,
That's right.
a predominantly black city
Uh-huh.
can decide, we're going to make sure this Confederate cemetery doesn't get disturbed, but the slave cemetery.
Wait.
Well,
This is
that was the
kinda-
county.
Now, I was when I made that statement, I was talking about the state coming through
With the highway.
with the highway, with this new 290 highway. They wanted to make sure that they, I guess, and I don't blame them for not disturbing that particular. I'm not saying the city, I'm saying the state.
So the state came in and did that.
They want to make sure,
Yeah.
they have to find it. They,
But
because-
still, if the state of Texas can be just as concerned about a cemetery. I don't understand why. And this is a small town, and usually in small towns,
Well, you know,
more connected.
Yeah.
You're way more connected in a small town. That should be
You're
something you want to hold on to.
Right, but you have to have the proper personnel sometimes. But it's good that you have a passion. I like the passion in that. So
But
this
let me back up and tell you something. See, that cemetery, slave cemetery, was fine for certain black people here to be buried in. When they started the other cemetery, they didn't want any other blacks buried in that cemetery. But the professors and the doctors.
She gonna tell the lady.
I'm going to tell you just like it is.
But the professors and the doctors.
That was teaching at Prairie View. When I was telling you, there's a lot of prejudices here. That's what we had to put up with. But finally, they broke the ice and started letting other people that worked at Prairie View to bury out there in the cemetery. If you didn't work at Prairie View, you couldn't bury out there. On the hill, you had from called the pre-primer to the high school. We was all, and they had a little white building there for the high school, and the other little brick building was elementary school for up to, I don't forget now, to 8th grade, I think, 8th or 9th grade. And then they decided to build the school up there called Jones School. Build that school and made
Little elementary school.
Elementary and a high school.
Well, they just, after integration, they named that Jones Elementary. But before then, it was Prairie View Training School.
Prairie View Training School.
Jones used to be the
Prairie View
training school.
School.
Yeah, Jones
Okay.
was Prairie View Training School. That's why the student teachers came to get their experience
Okay.
teaching.
Mm-hmm. Teaching.
Jones Elementary, they named after Jones Elementary after our principal. Our principal was H.C. Jones, Herman Jones.
When it first opened.
He wasn't. We had a number.
Miss
of
Birdine.
Birdine. They had
And Miss
a number.
Thomas was the first principals.
Then we
That
had.
when that school
so-
transferred.
But when they built
I
the
have
new
pictures.
school, Jones was the principal at that time. H.C.
Okay.
Jones.
They made him.
And he stayed there until they integrated.
So, okay.
When they integrated, then later years, when did they change that to Jones Elementary?
I really don't know.
I
They
don't
left
know.
it at Prairie View Training School off and made it Jones
When y'all,
Elementary.
when y'all went, they were all black. It was all black.
All black.
Uh-huh. And then when you was in the high school, wasn't it? And then they integrated. Some of the black children went to Waller High School. And some stayed here at Prairie View Training School and graduated.
Which is my class was the last class to
68 wasn't it?
my class of 68 was the last class to graduate from Jones School. Yeah. And we were split. Half stayed at Prairie View and half went to Waller School. I'm one of the ones that went to Waller and integrated.
Okay. Okay, so Waller was all white.
Mm-hmm.
Waller was white.
They were all white.
They integrated. So some
We
decided
were
to
part of
go.
the Waller Independent School District. We were part of the Waller Independent School District.
So what was that like? What was that like?
Like with Prairie View,
When they decided, hey, we're gonna integrate, y'all can go over here now. So what?
Well,
what
like he was
that
saying,
like?
he said part of them went to Waller and the other part stayed.
but let me tell you this, before that happened, when we was at Prairie View, we got all the books that the white kids had, and they sent it to Prairie View. That's what we had to use. And they would buy all the kids in Waller new books. We had to take their books to learn out from. And then after that, then they start doing things different when they integrated. And then they changed it, then everybody from high school, they still had this elementary school up here. and they've been trying to close it ever since.
So it's like, hey, we're gonna give you this opportunity to get an education, but we're not gonna really.
Well, the one thing different, was that we had the best teachers.
Mm-hmm.
At Waller.
No, at Prairie View.
Prairie View.
Okay, Prairie View.
Our teachers had to have master's degree, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time the kids, teachers down there, they came out the classroom and went back into the classroom
That was
after
teaching.
graduating and teaching. And then finally, when they found out that they had to have a degree, when the Texasization thing came after integration, most of them had to go back and had to go to school. But our
All the
teachers
white-
already were qualified to teach school. The best teachers. We thought they had it, but we had the best thing. You know, sometimes you looking outside, looking in.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But though we had some good teachers up there that would carry. Then you had some that you know, I like to say
That made a difference.
yeah. But the one that carried, they made sure you got it. We had a teacher named Miss Kilpatrick. She was a tough teacher. Miss Woods was the first grade teacher. She was my teacher. And I wanted my children to have her. But her class was full.
They sent her to
After
Waller, and
they
she
sent
had
her to
all
Waller.
white children.
And they put one or two of us in there to say they wasn't precious, but she had, her class will fill up before the end of the school year. And so I wanted her to teach my children because I know she was a darn good teacher. And then we had Libby Brown was a second grade teacher. And O.J. Thomas, she was a principal too once.
Yeah.
And she was a third grade. And Miss Mosley, the grandmother
Harvey.
of
Lavon,
Lavon, that was his mother.
his grandmother.
She was the fourth grade. I think Miss Town was the fifth grade.
No, Miss Sickler.
Huh?
Was it,
No.
Miss Sheen was high school, and Miss Drew was a high school teacher.
Oh, man, I think
Miss
And
Drew.
Cardi
Was
Brown.
one teacher per grade?
Huh?
Was one teacher per grade?
Yeah, they had a teacher for a grade, but sometimes, you know, but we had some qualified teachers. I had to give them that, you know, because a lot of the stuff we were learning, that we was working on the college, like geometry and trigonometry, and we had some had drafting and all this. They just had the little high school on the hill.
Yeah, because when we was at Prairie View Training School on the hill, we went to the science department on the campus, and a different classroom that the college students were in. And we would go to the dining hall, and we would eat with the students and things like that. Everything, because the students would come and do their training and all at the training school. And that's how we got chance to, when I was little, to be with the college students.
Y'all enjoyed that.
Yes.
But
We
anyway,
did.
they
And they carried us on tour
Yeah.
to the veteran hospital, to the farm, all the things that they have. We got a chance to be exposed to a lot of things at the university.
Okay.
engineering department, we got
Uh-huh.
a chance to go to the engineering department, which includes the drafting and everything.
And then
So-
we had a chance to go to what they call the manufacturing thing where they made the brooms, the mattress, what else? For the dormitories. And all those things was made at Prairie View. Because my sister and them, they worked at Prairie View there to make the broom, the mattress thing. And then I had two of my brothers that worked out on the farm that worked with the dairy cows. With all of that, they used to get all the milk, the butter, eggs, still get eggs at the university and out there. Everything that was made and that fed the students that came from off the farm. So I hear my dad and other farm sold vegetables to university.
Well, at the time, we had a good relationship with the athletes from the university football, basketball, track.
Oh,
Okay.
tennis.
Yeah, we kind of ran with the football players. Yeah, we was like swimming in high cotton.
And with the basketball.
With basketball and all those guys, they took us on their arms and they wouldn't let any arm come to us, you know. We ran with them.
And Prairie View Training School had some good tennis players too.
Yeah.
Because they go out there and would practice with the college students.
College.
Same thing with the basketball. Track. They had some of the best track and basketball. Prairie View Training School was good.
That's a good one.
Yep, Galilee.
What?
Yeah.
That's giving me chills.
And I walked where my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ walked.
That is
And that's
giving
a
me
thrill.
chills.
Yeah.
I stayed at the penthouse. They put me up in the penthouse. I had my swimming pool up on top. They treated me with luxury. I stayed in Jerusalem. I stayed at King David Hotel. I went to they fed me. I had duck roasted in blueberry sauce and all this kind of stuff.
That makes you taken care of.
Yeah.
But see, he not telling all of it. He should tell you why, because he was used to around to the university and about the farming.
Well, I represented Prairie View A&M University.
Really?
Yeah, in Israel.
That's a good book.
I was part of Kellogg Foundation 2020. Still, I represent the university in Olive Branch. Our first meeting I went to was in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And what they were trying to get the university, all the 1890s, 1860s, university returned back to their roots, you know. And so this is what the program they were doing. I spoke at Kilgore, at the National Institute there in Kilgore. But my Israel trip was the highlight of my life.
I know it was.
I always asked to go, and I got the opportunity to go.
And they honor you in Austin.
Yeah, they honored me in Austin, up there at the government, state capitol, my wife and I. They had a big write-up in the Chronicle.
Mm.
They made me honorary Secretary of Agriculture. So I got my plaque, everything. But, you know, I went to the old Jerusalem, and the Turks treated us with a passion. You think about rednecks in the South. The Turks, they had the jails that they put us in on top of old Jerusalem. They would come down. And everybody went to Africa to learn, is what, like they said, Africa, all the money changes, and like the New York Stock Exchange, all originated in Africa. So, I went there, and the birthplace, where he was born, the manger, and everything. Caesarea.
You take pictures?
Oh, I took pictures.
What pictures?
I think I still have them.
I see those pictures.
So, but anyway, we went. Then I went down and Old Jerusalem. You know, you had the architect. It's marvelous. You know, you see 2,000 pound. Well, I won't say boulders or whatever, use for lack of word. They didn't have mortar between the boulders like we have bricks.
Mm-hmm.
They fitted. They fitted together, just everything. Like they had aqueducts and running water and restrooms and things. And we think we were smart.
Yeah.
The engineering is marvelous. And what the thing that got me was I saw water running uphill in ducts going down to Jericho.
Did you just say you
Water-
seen water
water
going
was running
uphill?
up.
Yeah,
Oh
Water
man.
running up.
yeah, running up, but it could have been coming from a higher elevation, going down.
You talking about the force made it go
Yeah.
back up the hill?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, what else did you see?
I've heard a lot of things that I hadn't heard the word before. He talked about it in pieces.
I always say water
But
running down.
the wall where it come tumbling down. When Joshua walking around the wall of Jericho and everything.
Seen all of that.
Yeah, all of that. Lucky I didn't get shot because I walked across the Jordan River over into Jordan.
Uh-oh.
I went all the way up to the Goal Line Heights. Everything.
And they still was fighting. But
Yeah, they're still fighting. Tel Aviv, they call it the Sodom and Gomorrah of Israel. Just wide open. I mean, wide open. But when you get to Jerusalem, it's a difference between night and day. Everything is so peaceful. That's where the Arabs and the Jews all work. The Arabs have their day, and the Jews have their day, and there's nothing going on. But in Tel Aviv is where you hear all about the bombing. In Tel Aviv. But in Jerusalem, you see a olive tree 4,000 and 5,000 years old that's still producing. Yeah, it's just so much, you try to remember all of it. And the devil almost cheated me out of my trip.
Trying to stop you from going over there.
Yeah. I left my passport there, when you carry on bag and the stuff, they go through the x-ray machine. And I went all, started searching the press rooms, and then found out I decided to go back to where and on my way back, he said, it could be a reason. I got slow. I was kind of what the old folks used to say, counting your steps. And so, Lord, the Spirit spoke to me and said, you asked for this, and I told you everything will be all right. I held the plane up for 15 minutes.
I would have to plan up 15 minutes too. Nobody is going anywhere.
But anyway, I finally ran and jumped on the plane. It was 350 aboard on bird. And we
How was
landed
that
there.
flight?
Yeah.
That's a long flight.
Well, going over there was quick, I think 11 hours. I believe it was 11 hours. But we flew up to Nova Scotia and then we went across
Okay.
to England. And then we landed in Paris. And I think it was 3 hours from Paris to Tel Aviv. So I had a stellar life. The highlight was the Israel.
Yeah, I bet that's. I would love to go to.
I would meet to my heart for them to see them cutting grapes off the vine, but they were raising a specialty grape to produce a specialty wine, because they had one bottle of wine. I know a German guy bought one, cost $1,000 for a bottle of wine. So everything is for producing for Europe. Well, we produce things different, but they feed a third of Europe. I was invited back in '96 by the Israeli government, but at that time I had been through Vietnam, and I wasn't. I wouldn't get to go out there, and I didn't have a gun too.
Yeah.
So I got there, and so the thing is, we met some Cubans. Cubans, they black. And so we spoke to them and say, hello there. What's going on, brother? He said, hell, ain't you, brother? I said, excuse me? But I ate on the Sea of Galilee. They had everything you want to eat, and so I had what they call a pita fish, and you had to eat it from the tail to the head, because if you didn't, you catch it. You get the bones. They tell you how to eat. So then so I was lucky enough to get a shackle they had in his mouth. And they told me the one that had that was very blessed. I said, so
Oh, you got the
I got the shackle. I was at my house now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't they get everything out of the field
Yeah,
already?
everything.
They didn't.
Everything that produce it come from their produce section straight to the table. I made the mistake of asking for some. I wanted some ham and eggs. I forgot where I was.
Almost got murdered, didn't you?
They told me, sorry, no ham. We got all the eggs, but no ham.
So they don't believe in.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Marie Agnew Watts.
Y'all talk about the joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, my grandfather, my mother's father, came in on that slave ship.
Robert, you confused me when you said that.
Well,
You talking about my mom?
Yeah.
Why would you say it like that?
Huh? I say my grandmother, which is
Marie Agnes.
Marie Agnew, which is my
Agnes.
yeah.
She, my mother was a Watts.
Your mother was one.
Mm-hmm. And her father's the one that came in, and his mother came in on the slave ship.
Well, her niece was one of the first black nurses in Victoria County, which she took care of our grandfather and great-grandfather, which is Elijah Williams.
But Georgia.
But our daddy, which is our grandfather, he met what's his name?
Frank James, Jesse James.
Hart.
And Frank James and Jesse
Yeah.
James.
He said he rode up to John Wesley Hardy
Yeah.
on a stick horse. You know, he get a stick and get I let him ride it with a stick horse. That's what they called it back then. And they rolled up to John Wesley Hardy and asked him to give him a smoke or a chew or a floats out. He said John Wesley Hardy pulled his 6-shooter out and started shooting down on the ground.
And my father got a chance to see Frank James and Jesse James.
Yeah.
And then Victoria.
John Wesley Hardy. So John Wesley Hardy.
We talking Jesse James, the gangster?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And John Wesley Hardy, you know, he killed a man for snoring. He shot him, at least I don't know if he cared.
For snoring.
Yeah. Yeah. He shot him.
Because he was snoring.
So he was snoring.
Yeah, my dad did a lot of things. He was a very brave man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I wouldn't mess with him. You got it.
But, Reverend Robert L. Williams. I'll tell you one thing, the whites in this community.
I used to get mad because I could never do it because I always make my fingers on the wall.
Okay, that's my grandfather and grandmother right there.
This is your grandfather? Oh, up here.
Up there. That's Marie and Robert L. That's my late aunt. You use your knee.
Like everything.
And that's my late uncle right here, Elijah, what we call Joe.
You see through the back door?
Uh-huh, and my dad had this hat on.
Where was this picture taken?
I
Huh?
Where was this picture taken?
Let's see, who all on there, Wendy?
I don't know them people.
You turn it this way, Jazzy.
Yeah, let me see. Grandmother on there.
Matter of fact,
The station wagon when he was young. I think the one with the white hat on. And one invented the. His sister was here. I can't think of her. They was carpenter and invented things. Now that's my daddy. Hold it. That's my daddy. Mother, her mother and father, sister and brother. My great great grandmother was German.
can you hold it up some? No. Well, okay.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. That works.
That's
That
her
works.
sisters and brother.
Wait. Say it again. Say it again.
Oh, this is Miss Angela's. Wait, is this Miss Angela's grandfather's hat? Right?
Yeah, that's my mom's dad.
This is his hat. And she thinks she can find Miss Angela's sister's hair that they still have somewhere in the house.
That's their mama patch.
Can you say that again?
What?
My mom's mother last quilt that she was patching.
She was quilted. Uh-huh.
This is her last quilt. She was making.
That's dope.
Probably get a better picture. Those are the syrup jugs. That's one. There's one in the living room in there too.
The who?
The syrup jug. What they made
Oh,
syrup out
Wendy,
of.
what you got in there on the floor?
Oh, I was showing a Papa's hat.
Oh,
I'm still holding it.
oh, baby, you can just sit it down. Well,
Did you take a picture?
Oh, I
of
got a
Papa's
lot of
things?
stuff.
Oh, it's dark out there now.
my mother made all our clothes for school. She made everything. She made all her clothes. Hey, Mom. Oh, at Bell, I think it's old line. And at my dad, when he was sick, and he used to ring that bell, let me know that.
These
It's
were
heavy too.
the tree that used to be right out there. It fell over.
Yeah.
These are the iron things that my grandfather put under there. They said to make the tree strong,
Really?
and they were still there after all these years. And I put them in this plastic bag.
This is my Uncle Ariel, one in Victoria.
My pawpaw, my great grandfather has a picture in a uniform just like that.
Yeah.
This is his Mason Bible.
It's old.
And you can see he has his dad's name information in there.
Okay, hold on, so I can take a picture also. Once.
Information in here. Yeah, it has his daddy
came from his
information.
dad. Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is his old Mason Bible. That came from his grandfather.
Oh, and that book down the island, that dad had that book with all those old soldiers, the black soldiers, when they bring that. I never did know anything.
Now, Uncle Obi, now I forgot to tell you, Uncle Obi was what was that? The Buffalo.
Buffalo soldier.
He was a Buffalo soldier.
This?
Really?
Yeah.
Whose book is this?
This was Daddy, Grandpa.
this is my grandpa.
It's, I don't know, but it's in here where the first. I've been trying to. They was telling me about how.
That's Company K.
No, the black soldier. Here it is here. And I forgot now the relatives that was in service. It's a lot of pictures of the black soldiers. That's not the only picture of them. They got them. I don't know how many pages of the black soldiers.
Hold on, so I can
That
take a
was-
picture.
A lot of pictures.
Yeah. And I was talking Pruitt.
Oh,
I
you
think
want to get
Pruitt
the
got
cover?
you.
Camp Davis.
I just wanted to touch it.
1918.
Let me get a picture.
Yeah. I got a box of it. It's in the pantry up in there. And like you said, when you come back, I can have this stuff pull out. You can take a picture of all that. candles and stuff. And then that big old thing that they would milk the cows and where they string the cows and the strainer would go. And the churn, I got the churn that made butter.
You made butter? You know how to make butter?
Yes. Oh, Lord, yeah. We used to make all we didn't have to buy butter. We made our own butter. My mother made cottage cheese. She made her own yeast.
I think the only thing they bought was
Sugar and flour.
flour
Sugar, flour.
and maybe some black pepper, so as I remember.
That's it. Made our own grease, everything. We didn't have to
You know,
buy.
you don't know anything about lard, do you? That's soap.
We made our own soap.
Soap. Lye soap.
Made lime soap and then they made the other soap.
I heard
Wash
it.
clothes with.
Heard it hurt. Made with that lye soap.
It
Yeah, it can clean you real good.
It'll clean you up and clean your clothes.
Uh,
Yes, indeed.
And when he decided he was going to cross again, he fell in. And that's because he didn't have his faith. So my aunt earlier, she tells me all these stories.
Well, she tells us all the
Yeah.
things that,
She has great stories too, so.
She had